Hello, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. Let's take the time to remember those who have died so that assholes like me can complain about music over the internet. Today's subject is the band INFERI once again. I know I talk about these guys a lot, and the issue is that the brainchild for the band also runs the deathcore music factory label, The Artisan Era, and I'd be fine with that if he didn't spend his time calling that label a technical death metal label or a progressive death metal label. And I understand metal has been a sunk ship for a long time. I hold out hopes that it can be resurrected in the right hands, but if young kids are going to gravitate towards the death metal genre, the technical death metal subgenre, to try to express themselves, and they are bombarded by bands that sound like this, instead of, say, the first two Atrocity records, Breeding the Spawn, Cryptopsy before they went to shit, stuff like that, we're never going to see the genre actually move forward from where it died in the mid-90s, and even wisps of it that remained in the late 90s. I do think that there is the potential for it to grow. I myself took part in the technical death metal subgenre, and I'm satisfied with what I did with it, but I want to see other people take it further. And if you're just going to intersperse open chugs with fragments of scales and guitar exercises, that's not what death metal is. That's not what technical death metal is. But if young kids are going to encounter a label that's advertising itself as technical death metal and it sounds like this, they're not going to know better. They're going to be too lazy to do any research to find the real shit, and it's going to be crippled before it can even get out of the gate. So that's the issue I have with the Artisan Era, but I do have some good news leading into today's video. INFERI decided to stop pretending that they're death metal, stop pretending that they're technical death metal, and they just decided to lower the mask and just show us that they've been a deathcore band the whole time, which I applaud them for, because, you know, they weren't succeeding as a death metal band. I would rather see a band be shitty and honest than be somewhat competent while pretending, and that's what they spent their career doing. But now they dropped everything that was kind of metal about them, and they gave us a new single that is about as deathcore as it gets. So I'm going to play this song and give you a little brief analysis on what I'm hearing and show you that it's just best to be honest, because eventually it's all going to come out. So let's give this a listen. So the first thing you see here is it's being set in an arcade. I love arcades, you know, but I would never be caught dead showing that kind of a background in my death metal presentation. You know, this is proving that they're just a bunch of frat guys that just want to have a good time and just be slightly edgy enough to get people on the fringe to enjoy their shit. You would never see Terrence Hobbs be caught dead playing a song in a music video with this kind of backdrop. That's the difference between, one of the many differences between deathcore and death metal, is that death metal takes itself seriously. These guys do not. Got that awesome pink Hello Kitty 7-string on display. So you got Baby's first chug riff going on here. Imagine if you're like, 7, 8 albums into your career like these guys are, and the first riff of your first single for your new record is that fucking thing. It's really embarrassing, but they know their target audience. They know that their audience is going to want to hear, a garbage-ass chug riff so that they can start the fucking pit moving, and they're giving you that. Instead of giving you something vaguely metal, they're just giving you the deathcore right away. They're giving you the singer that's, overly animated in a hilarious setting, and it's not metal anymore, and I applaud them for it. So I'm just glad they stopped pretending. So yeah, it's just essentially a pop song arrangement now. They strip things down to the point where it's as digestible as it can be. The riffs are brain dead simple. There's enough synth in the background to make you think that they have layers going onto it when they really don't. But altogether, I'm really happy with this new direction. Before, them masquerading as a technical death metal band, if you want to just try to imagine a Venn diagram of technical death metal, like if you had like Atrocity fans, like all 10 of them in their own circle, that circle would be in this universe, whereas INFERI fans would be over here. A better comparison would be like, say, Lorna Shore and this band. If there was a Venn diagram of Lorna Shore and INFERI, it would be a perfect circle, like one disc of dudes just on top of another dude disc, just a meatless dude-on-dude sandwich of deathcore garbage. That's what it would be. And that's why I've always not been able to hear that this band is death metal or technical death metal, or let alone anything else on their label aside from Sutra. And it's unfair to themselves to call themselves technical death metal. I mean, if you do that, you're automatically entering into a competition just by nature. And you lack the bone density to be called death metal. You lack the muscle mass. You lack the testosterone. It's just not fair to yourselves. It's best to just go along with what you are. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Be true to yourself. Be true to others. And I don't even need to go further for this video. It's the same old shit over and over. You pretty much heard everything the song is going to do. So it's about as basic as it gets. And the band used to be kind of adventurous with their arrangements, and they realized you don't have to do that, and that's good. Trim the fat, give the audience what they want, but don't give me any more half measures. Go fucking full hog on this. I want to see gaugier ears, flatter brimmed hats. Just go full fucking hog. If you're going to do something, you just got to go all in. And this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully they continue on that path. But, if they're going to do this, they got to just stop calling themselves death metal. This is the right step, a step in the right direction, but they got to encourage the audience to understand the correct moniker going forward. And hopefully they do that. But yeah, I applaud the honesty. Hopefully all the other deathcore bands out there, like Archspire, whoever the fuck, will stop pretending and just tell you what they are, or show you what they are. Let you come to the right conclusion. But yeah, have a happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a good time out there, relaxing. I'm going to choose to enjoy the rest of my holiday by not watching the rest of this. So thank you for listening.